All right. So for R&R, the hips being our focus, let's start today on our backs with the feet together and the knees apart. You can rest a block under each knee in Supta Badakanasana. So reclined cobbler's pose. Yes, Stephanie, that's it. Grab them. You can place them under the knees. I'd bring them even closer up near the thighs and lay them on that long flat surface. You can roll blankets if you don't have blocks to help the legs stay propped up. Yeah, nicely done. Lay on down, let the hips open up. I want you to take note of your breath. How does it feel? Where do you feel it? The lungs, can we find their full range, the capacity from the belly into the chest, up way into the collarbone? The exhale, where do we feel compression? Where does there maybe a little resistance? The body kind of wants to stay open. Can we contract a little deeper? Let's just take a few cycles of breath, long in and long out. Get to know this breath in this moment at this time. Our breath is one of those tools that'll help us find our presence as we hold the poses. The stillness in the body often can trigger the chaos of the mind, the movement of the mind. You might catch yourself holding the breath, or it becomes short and rapid as the thoughts come and go. So just bring that awareness, that presence to the breath, a deep awareness of where you are and how you are at this time. In this class, we really focus on opening, holding, so we can find a deeper release. Be patient with the pose. This week, we're focusing on Sahaja. It's that idea of deep presence. It translates to born together, together born. That which is already there. So those of you just joined, we're in Supta Badakanasana, feet together, knees out. Props can be blocks or blankets under the legs, helping the legs stay open. We'll take 10 more inhales and exhales. So 10 full cycles of breath. Notice anything that might happen as you give attention to the breath, as you bring presence to it. Does it deepen? Does it grow longer? Do we take up more space? Notice if it feels fluid, inhale to exhale, back to inhale. Might be a distinct pause. Last 3 cycles, in and out. Big inhale, fill, fill, fill. Open the mouth, exhale. Sigh it out. You can reach your right arm overhead. Bend the elbow off to the side. Bring your left leg to meet your right, moving props out from under the right side. Pause here as you turn that fetal posture. Take a deep breath in. A full breath out. And slowly, with the support of your hands, come to seated. We'll work into a little bit of movement. So comfortable cross-legged posture. If you want to sit on a blanket or a block, even a bolster at the edge of it might feel good to have the hips just slightly elevated. Let's bring our hands out to our side. Find our spine stacked up. So think head, heart, and pelvis all in alignment. Inhale, reach that right arm up. As you exhale, bend over to your left. Look up to your right hand. Inhale, reach a little further as you plug that right hip in. And then maybe tiptoe those left fingers away, bending that left elbow a little more deeply, coming onto that side. Breathing out. And then inhale, let's pull that left shoulder slightly back. Exhale, bring it forward and look down to your left hand. Inhale, bring that right shoulder back. Exhale, bring it forward and down. Last one, breathing in. Bring that top shoulder up and back. Exhale, bring it down. Bring your right hand to your left knee. Press into your left hand as you inhale, reach up tall with that left arm, left wrist opening up, reaching up with the left fingers. And then as you exhale, bring that left hand to the right knee. Hands trying to find the knees. I say it sometimes like a ball and a mitt fit, right? So we're really trying to get our hands onto, you might lean forward a little bit, be okay with that. Press down through your sit bones, find a little tension in the shoulders as the hands grip on. Breathe in. As you breathe out, tuck your chin in, tuck your pelvis slightly. The pubic bone and the chin will kind of move in synchronized, right? Think about cat-cow. Our tailbone points down, our chin tucks down and under. So it's kind of that shape, opening up the back. Let's take 3 breaths here. Inhale, 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 all the way to the upper back. Exhale. Pay attention to that breath. Breathe in. Feel the low ribs, mid ribs, upper back. Neck and shoulders feel stretched, and then exhale. Soften the tension around the shoulder heads. Last one, breathe in. Fill up, fill up, fill up, and then exhale. Sigh it away. Soften the arms, let them come out to the ground beside you. Let's inhale, shrug those shoulders up. Breathe in, breathe in, breathe in. Draw them back and exhale, allow them to fall. We're gonna just switch up our legs, opposite leg in front for cross-legged posture, Sukhasana. It's always a little awkward for me on one side. It's like I can feel one ankle or shin a little bit more. So notice if you have any of those things going on. Adjust, bring the hands beside you, and then let's lift that left arm up this time. Breathe in. As you breathe out, bend over to your right. And plug the left sit bone as you reach further with the left side. We're really opening. You can even look to the left hand. And then look down as you breathe out, walking the right fingers a little further away from the hip. You might bend that right elbow so deeply to come onto the forearm. You might stay up a little taller. Okay, whatever works for you. That left shoulder as you inhale, if you look up, is going to come back. And then as you exhale, bring it forward, look down, let your gaze help the pose, support the pose. Inhale up. You can even look to the left hand and exhale down. Left shoulder comes forward. Scapula away from the spine. Inhale, open up the chest. Exhale, bring it forward and down. Bring that left hand to the right knee. Press into your right hand as you inhale, sit up tall, reach that right arm up. Open those right ribs, that armpit, and then exhale, cross right hand over the left. Try to find your left knee with your right hand. And that same thing here. Inhale. Try to sit tall, shoulder heads away from ears. And as you exhale, tuck the chin in. Open up the back. You can even press the arms into each other a little bit as you grip onto the legs. Take a deep breath in. Low back, mid back, neck, shoulders. Exhale, let the shoulders drop. Inhale, you might even tuck a little bit more, chin more, pelvis a bit more. Keep your sit bones plugged in though. Exhale. Last one, deep breath into the upper back. Neck, shoulders, sit bones into the ground. And exhale, soften, release the arms as you breathe in. Let's reach them up, find a little bit of space. And this time, just exhale, forward fold. You can grab a block if you'd like and bring it in front of you and allow the arms to kind of drape. You can rest your head on the block. It might feel nice even to bring a bolster if you have one in front under the wrist, so the elbows can drop a little and you can tuck into this. Let's stay for 5 inhales and exhales going forward. So 5 more deep breaths in and out. We pay attention to the breath. When we find ourselves more present, what do we pick up on? What do we notice? It's a spontaneous idea. It occurs in the moment as it's happening. So this powerful awareness of ourselves. To be with it fully, really come to where we are, into the moment. Return to that connection. This yoga practice helps support that. Breathe in, fill up, expand. Exhale, let it go. Last round of breath or so. You'll use the inhale to slowly walk the hands in and sit up tall. Our next pose we'll take is going to be a short jog or Shavasana, and we'll start with the right leg long. So let's let that right leg go long. Bring your left heel into your groin. I like to take the leg instead of directly out, the right leg directly out. Right, you're going to take it off to the side a little bit. And you can slide a bolster or blanket underneath that right knee. You can even bring a block or two in front of you to help you with this fold. And all we're going to do is use the exhale to soften in, get settled in. Woo! They're so tight today. And then try to soften the feet. You may have a habit of going into flexion here, really working for that stretch. We're allowing the body to open up. If you have an extra prop, you can, if you're not sitting on your blanket, you can even slide under your left knee. Give a little support. If you feel like your left knee is really far from the ground, a block might be the way to go. So find some places to help that right leg bend, the left knee get supported, if that's possible, something for your head, and hold into this. We'll hold it for a couple minutes, which may seem like a long time, but traditionally in this class we hold postures for much longer. So Not as intense of a time to work to that deep presence. Sometimes it feels like we're just settling in and then it's time to climb out. So if you drift off, come back to your breath. When you come back to your breath, feel the moment. This deep presence or deep awareness, connection to who we are and all that we are, right where we are. I know we've done a lot of back opening, so be patient. We're just really working to open that up so we can open the belly and counter here in a minute. Last few breaths. Breathe away into your back of that right leg, left kidney, up into the shoulders. Exhale, soften. You'll inhale, slowly sit up tall. If you have a block, bring it back behind you for your left hand to rest on. Your right hand can go in front of you. Inhale, sit up tall. Just exhale, look over that left shoulder. Trying to take an open twist here. So you might walk the block under your left hand a little further back, keeping that right hand. And these are on the tallest setting, okay? So both these blocks are really tall up. Inhale for length, and then exhale, gently look back. Notice if you start to flex your right toes, maybe point them, and then flex them, and then soften them in between. Last inhale. Exhale. Let's just unwind. Pause in the middle. You can let that left leg go long, let both legs kind of go in on toes in and out. And if you have a prop and it feels right, you'll invite it underneath the back of the left knee. Okay, this is just so we don't overextend that. Can be a lot of sensation when we're straightening our back of our leg and those hamstring muscles. So this will kind of give you a little support there. Block might be in front. You know, one might have a bolster across your thigh, something underneath that left knee. However you need on this side, working towards that straight left leg, breathe in, and then use the exhale to fold. On this side, you might feel it differently too. You may not feel it as much in your leg, you might feel it more on your back. How these shapes we take them on varies from what we've been doing. You know, if you've been skiing, you might feel a little different now. If you've been in a car traveling, same thing. If you've just been sitting on a couch, also could be making for tight hamstrings. Dehydrated, there's a slew of reasons that there might be tightness, tension, things going on. I'm just slowing down, taking note of ourselves and how we're doing things. How's it feel? Remembering this is a head to knee pose, so we're working more down and forward, then add that reach to the feet. So soften those shoulders, breathe into the back. Use that inhale to bring stretch and expansion to what's growing tight and firm. Use the exhale to kind of release Where there's tension that's crept in, kind of soften it, let go. Steady breath in and steady breath out. Whenever you wander off, just keep coming back to that. Last 3 cycles of breath on this side. Big inhale way into the back, that right kidney, the left leg. Then exhale, soften. You'll slowly sit up tall. And then we bring it into a twist. So block under the left hand, block under the right hand behind you. Inhale to sit up. Exhale, look back over the right shoulder. Try to soften your left foot. Inhale, sit up tall. And exhale, look up and back and behind. Last one, deep breath in. Exhale, twisting your degree. And then slowly, let's come back to center. All right. This week, our pose of the week is supported Garland pose, supported Malasana, which if you've got a block, just one block might be enough, and you can kind of sit into this and feel this. There's a lot of contraction still here in my hip flexors, and so I would maybe even make a slightly bigger base for the bottom, and then kind of find the proper height. Okay, so this is one option you have. The other one I had said was frog. I personally feel like I'm, on a squatted potty or something like that right now. So this can be helpful, can feel nice, and nothing against it. I would prefer, for me, if I were taking that shape on, a frog pose, which all you need is a blanket. Okay, you can bring that on your mat. I want to show this to you from the front and the side, and then you can even have a couple blocks. Okay, so the knees have to come out. I like to find 90 degrees. Okay, so think toes and heels, heels and knees, knees and hips. That's what we're trying to find. So first you look for your toes, you get them in line with your heel and your knee. Woo. And then the knees might go out, you come forward, you bring your props, you bring your blocks, and you support yourself up. So this is with the knees out to the side. From the side, it looks like this, 2 blocks. Under my forearms, you can bring a bolster underneath it and keep a blanket against the inside of the knees, because it is really just to soften the sensation of something firm underneath you. Toes out, bring in your props, however it feels good, however many you need. You could have a chair in front of you, okay? Maybe like a stool, doesn't really matter. It might help you stay up a little bit, and then you can drop the head. You can even drop your chest, so the scapulas come together a little bit, and let the pelvis drop forward. And we won't hold this pose nearly as long, so you might be in your standing squat. You might be in frog pose. If you're like none of the above, you can take a really wide child's pose on your back. But often child's pose moves us more into a back forward fold, and trying to either find a neutral or a slight extension in the spine here. Knees apart, opening the hips. You've got this. Let's stay here for 2 minutes. Not a super duper long time. That's why the blankets might be nice underneath the knees, the props underneath the arms. You don't have to flex the feet once you're there, but I like to look for those lines in measuring out. If you're in a squat, your knee is pointing on both legs in the same direction as your second and third toe. So your toes are slightly out, your knees are slightly out. Your head, shoulders, and pelvis are all stacked. You can let the arms rest beside you. I find that hands at prayer is usually a little bit more work, so resting, the arms on the knees or the backs of the thighs might feel good. Try not to sink and sit back on your butt. Try to find your sit bones down. Think pubic bone back and tailbone down to your in a neutral spine. Now notice the pace of your breath. This pose, I think, brings a lot of stuff up. You work into the hips. We hold all these sensations, these experiences. Pisces is the season that we're focusing on currently, and this fluid, this water, this energy, this emotional, our hips can trigger a lot of those things. So take us everywhere and all over. And come back to your breath. Notice your experience. If you're feeling a lot in your hips, even in this like squat posture, supported squat, my hands want to clench up a little bit. My jaw wants to tense up because I'm feeling a little bit of effort and contraction in the front of my hip flexor area. And as I try to relax my body, I can kind of relax my lungs and relax my thoughts. But it all weaves together. So as the body finds its natural tension, its subconscious tension, it can creep into the breath and it can creep into the thoughts. Notice what brings you back. And invite in deep presence. Last 3 cycles of breath. Big inhale. Open the mouth. Exhale. Let it all go. If you are in Malasana, okay, you're in that supported squat, all I want you to do is turn your toes forward, bring your hands down, and find a hang in a forward fold. Okay, wide, you can grab opposite elbows. Excuse me. And even sway a little bit. If you're in frog, you'll slowly work your way out off of your knees, right? You'll walk your hands in first, you'll bring your knees in together. And then you can just come into a seated posture and find a Paschimottanasana for forward fold. So the hang, or if you want to get up and hang, you're welcome to do that. I love a good hang. Don't lock out the legs. You can leave them softly bent. They might be deeply bent. Take a few inhales and exhales here. Either with the legs long in front of you in a forward fold, or standing with your feet planted and your upper body hanging over your legs. Exhale. Last deep breath in. Full breath out. And then you'll slowly work your way to prep for supported fish pose. So our pose is going to take us into, we've done a lot of opening the back, opening the back, opening the back. We're going to do a gentle opening of the collarbone, the chest, the belly. If you have a blanket, you can roll it up like a burrito. What you might also like, if you want to go bigger, is If you have a bolster, you can wrap a blanket around it. And if you have a big bolster, it might be more than enough. If you want blocks, you can keep those aside for later or even for the legs part. But for supported fish, all we're going to do is scoot our hips all the way up to the end of our prop. And it's going to go in line with the spine. You're just going to roll yourself onto your blanket, your bolster, your combo experience here. Let the arms open up to the side. If you want to bring blocks underneath the wrists, that might feel nice to just kind of let the elbows soften a bit, let the shoulders open with a little more support. The feet can be planted with the knees slightly bent, or you can even, it might feel good to just let them go long. This will be our longest pose. We'll be here for like 7 minutes. So get comfortable, make it work for you. After 7 minutes, I'll invite us into Shavasana. If you want to stay in this pose, you're welcome to stay there. And so if you want to grab any extra props that might feel like a blanket over yourself, you can put socks on, wherever you are, get cozy, get comfortable, try to make it as relaxing and supported as possible. Find your breath, belly open, take the weight into the collarbone, out to your fingers. Notice anything that's trying to work, the jaw, the abdomen, around the neck and shoulders, the arches of your feet. If you can soften, relax, let go. When we consider Sahaja, a deep presence of arrival, togetherness, it's a very intentional act. To be so present and aware and attuned to who we are and all that we are. Asking ourselves to show up. Consider what it feels like to be deeply present in this moment with yourself, how you're feeling. Awareness of the things that we think, thoughts that move through us. Any sensations that come along with those thoughts. Any additional thoughts triggered by those sensations. We're really intuitive beings, so starting to tune into ourselves and slow down. This pose asks us to open ourselves up, to be courageous in that way. Open up to possibility and open up to presence. more than halfway done with this pose. So just take a breath. Let it go. That practice of presence is just over and over again, breath after breath. The last few cycles of breath. Breathe it all in and expand. Exhale, let it go. Thin belly, ribs, collarbone. Exhale. Last deep breath in. Fill. Take up some more space. And exhale, let it all out. If you'd like to come off of this and prepare for Shavasana, you'll just walk your feet in. Roll off onto your side, whichever side, it doesn't matter. Move your props aside. You can leave a blanket for underneath the head or the blocks for underneath the hands. And come to resting with a neutral, natural spine. If you have a tendency for any low back discomfort, you can even support the head and top of the shoulders a bit more, getting the upper ribs down, feeling that release in the upper mid-back. Try to just relax. The challenge for presence and the depth of our awareness is Shavasana. Stillness, this much after, especially the young practices where we move, and then we still. These other poses, these other practices where we've been still, it can have its own dynamics. It can maybe encourage a deep presence, or it can counter it. Neither is good, bad, right, wrong. It just is. That's what we're tuning into. Anytime you wander off, come back to the breath. Give yourself that chance to begin again. Bring your presence to where you are, and as you are, we'll inhale, maybe an audible exhale, and an effort to just be. Last few cycles of breath to bring us back together. Let's take a deep breath in and a full breath out. Breathing in longer, inhale, fill up. A little bit more. And exhale, let it all out. Last one, take a deep breath in, fill, fill, fill. Even pausing at the top. Exhale, let it all go. Start to roll the wrists, point and flex the toes. Roll the ankle, maybe take the head from side to side. You might invite a long stretch, reaching the arms overhead. And finally, coming to a side. We start again here. Breathe in, breathe out, and come to seated, nice and tall. And we'll just simply bring the palms together over the heart, letting the chin come to the chest. Gratitude for all that we are. This place within us, a union, a reunion with ourselves. So we find our deep presence. Bowing forward to seal the practice. Namaste.